Okay, this is my video reflection response for the lesson sequence design and delivery for Christy's EDTS 234 class on Tuesday mornings. So for the first part, like the process, building and delivering these lessons was one of my more difficult tasks in my education program. I learned that it's very time consuming and teachers don't get enough credit for that. I thought that it wasn't going to take much time and that I could slowly work through it and I'd be done in a few days. They took me probably 2.5 weeks. So that was a little rough, trying to find like the material that I needed, how to build a captivating lesson, like all of those. And then I also learned that it isn't as easy and natural to me as I thought it was going to be. I've always wanted to be a teacher from when I was little, so I thought everything would just come easy to me because that's what I've always wanted. But I definitely did struggle, and it taught me a little bit more about myself, that like I need to work hard in order to do this job, and teaching isn't easy, and it never has been. Something I would do differently is prepare beforehand. I only ran through my lessons the morning of, so I didn't really have that script built into my head perfectly, and my nerves were not gone, and those kids picked up on it fast. But I wouldn't adjust much. I know that's one of the questions. I wouldn't adjust much except for maybe more structure to the templates. Like, I think like different sections of like I do, we do, you do kind of thing, or like stuff like that. Overall, nothing really. My mentor teacher gave me very good feedback. For example, I was supposed to teach my lesson before their test on the unit that I taught. But however, plans changed and they wrote the test the day before, on the Wednesday before I came in. And when I walked in, I felt really silly because I was doing a review lesson for something they already took a test on. I did say to the kids, I had planned for this to be done before your test, but it's okay, I guess. And Laura told me that that can unmotivate the kids. Like, they've already done the test, so why would they do the work? And she told me to say, since you guys already took the test, you're definitely experts. And I just want to see what you know. So, and this really helped the second time I delivered the lesson because I taught it to 2 different grade 7 classes, because the students seemed so much more engaged the second time, knowing that I was basically testing them again and being like, do you know what I'm teaching you for your finals at the end of the year? Do you actually know what you just took a test on? Another piece of feedback she gave was asking the kids to solve on the board, because my first lesson, I just gave them the worksheet and told them to follow along. And she told me that that can also really affect how motivated and engaged students are. But children love going up to the whiteboard and going up to the smartboard and being able to write on it. So she told me that asking them to come up and be like, oh, what is 2 3/4 converted to an improper fraction? And they get to come up and do it themselves and then have the other students vote and give a thumbs up or a thumbs down if it's right or wrong, really draws them in more, because they want to fight to give that answer. They want to fight for you to call them up, like that kind of thing. And how it felt to deliver a lesson I made on my own felt so amazing. I felt like a teacher. This whole year has been really rough and I've really questioned if I'm in the right program, but teaching that lesson really showed me like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is 100% what I want to do with my life. And it just felt so good to do something on my own, because in your practicum, a lot of it in your first year is just watching what your mentor teacher does. But being able to deliver this lesson showed me that I can do it on my own and I get to do something on my own, and it's really great. Even though I bombed the first one, it was okay. Some things that went well were the kids listened to me. Even though I bombed the first one, they were still a little engaged, not as much as the second group. And my overall delivery, like, yes, I had some nerves, but I wasn't really stumbling over my words. I was really focused on what I was talking about. I was trying to engage with the kids, and you know, some of them were, some of them weren't. Some things that didn't go as expected for my first lesson. I mixed up the questions on the worksheet, so that kind of confused them a little bit. And on the worksheet, there's like some fill in the blanks and like some written responses. Those I didn't explain very well for what I wanted them to write. So some of them were blank, or some of them were just not the right answer. And it's just, some of them had, I don't know. So yeah, but overall, I think I did very well. I think delivering this lesson just really showed me that teaching's hard. It's not an easy profession, but I can still do it despite that. So, thank you.